So this is the self-development with tactics book. So today we are once again gonna go through some Reddit things. I'm actually pretty pumped to talk today and to record today. As you can see, I'm at home. It is Friday. I don't have to work today because I just don't have to work, which is an amazing thing. But yeah, anyway, I do try to make the best out of the day in terms of being quite productive. Today is also my rest day, so I'm not gonna work out. I'm also actually quite pumped for that because I don't feel that well, you know. And yeah, we are, I think, primarily going to talk about some stoicism thing and or some philosophical things. But yeah, why do you care? The Stoic Emperor. I do have to actually look at whether this is a real account or an unreal account or not. But yeah, don't be upset by disrespect from people you don't respect. Very good thought, you know? Very, very, very good thought. So don't be that kind of person, you know? Even though I would say respecting somebody in the sense of, okay, I'm not of the same opinion, I don't believe in what this person believes in, and such things, you know. I don't really believe in disrespect in terms of, I don't know, like I think that we should all respect everybody, you know, to some degree, you know. I think, you know, now we could actually be talking about like the definition of respect, of the word respect, you know, which could make or break the whole conversation right now. But yeah, I think respecting other people and respecting the person that you're meeting every single day is very important. If you should be listening to them or if you should value their opinions is a completely different thing. And I would rather say that it is more of which they talk about, you know. Just don't think about their opinion. Don't think about whatever they're saying about you. If you don't think that this person is of value to your life, and if, I don't know, if you just don't think that this person is, I don't know, smart and such things that you're valuing, and yeah, it's very difficult, you know, but I think you know what I mean and you know what I'm referring to. Hit me where it matters. If you're a puppet of your lowest instincts, you will be puppeteered by anyone who can provoke them. And I've already gone through that as I think about it, as I'm reading it, but I think it is still pretty amazing. Let's actually see what the philosophy subreddit is all about. Despite rumors to the contrary, arguments still work. We shouldn't give up on them. With arguments and evidence for using arguments and evidence. Knowledge has become a term that is used to create hierarchies within and among societies, how to unlock new ways of thinking, which is an incredibly important thing, to be able to think in different ways and to be able to therefore also see different things. You know, if you're able to think about situations and concepts and words and quite everything in a different way, you're going to be able to view it in a different way, which is essentially going to lead you to have a different life perspective, which is an amazing thing, and definitely something to consider and to practice, and to always keep in mind, like, how can I view this particular situation or this particular thing, this particular word, this particular person in a different light? You know, not always being just basically, how should I say, you know, being so set and fixed with your opinion. Like, okay, you know, this is such a person and that is such a person, whatnot. But if we think about things, if we think about people and their actions, and if we go through certain reasons why they might have been done that, or why they have done that, maybe, then we're going to see them in a different light, and we are maybe going to be able to just be friends with them again. And yeah, I think it is an amazing thing to be able to see things in different lights and through different perspectives. And yeah, and there's nothing that amazing here as well. Let's see what Cool Guides is saying. Oh, there's some cool guides. I hope there are some. Half of the US population lives in the yellow, half lives in the gray. That's fucking insane. You know, because the yellow parts maybe make up for, I don't know, like 20% of the whole space that you're having in the United States, which is insane if you think about it. But I mean, we're having very, very fucking big ass cities there with a lot of people in there, but it's just amazing to see it in that way. Fuck. I would actually really like to know the percentage of that. Is there actually something? Well, anyway, how to identify military rank. I don't actually care, so I'm not gonna care. How to speak your spouse's love language. Yes, I think it is an important thing. I've been talking about it before, but just if you don't know about it, there's 5 different love languages. The first one is words of affirmation, then physical touch, then receiving gifts, then quality time, and the last one is acts of service. Then there is different sectors of them, like how to communicate this particular love language, actions to take, and things to avoid. So let's hop into words of affirmation. So how to communicate that? Encourage, affirm, appreciate, emphasize, and listen actively. So things you should be doing: send an unexpected note, text, or card, encourage genuinely and often. And things to avoid: non-constructive criticism, non-recognizing or appreciating effort. Yes, fuck that shit. Physical touch. How to communicate that? Non-verbal, use body language and touch to emphasize love. Things you should be doing: hug, kiss, hold hands, show physical affection regularly, make intimacy a thoughtful priority. And things you should not be doing: physical neglect, long stints without intimacy, yes, receiving affection coldly. Receiving gifts, how to communicate that? Thoughtfulness, make your spouse a priority and speak purposefully. Things you should be doing: give thoughtful gifts and gestures, small things matter in a big way, express gratitude when receiving a gift. And the last one is things you should not be doing: forgetting special occasions, unenthusiastic gift receiving, you know? It's often the case that when somebody wants to have something, they also like to get it, because often we believe that other people also want what we want, but it is definitely not the case. So if you're receiving something, then of course the other person wants you to really appreciate that and really enthusiastically open it and all of these things. Like, it just truly makes sense. If this person, herself or himself, really likes to get gifts, you know, and is very enthusiastic about that, so we also like to see that in other people, it's actually something pretty interesting. Quality time. Uninterrupted and focused conversations, one-on-one time is critical. Create special moments together. Take walks and do small things with your spouse. Weekend getaways are huge. Huge are they? And things you should not be doing: distractions when spending time together, long stints without one-on-one time. Acts of service. How to communicate that? Use action phrases like "I'll help," "they want to know you're with them," "partnered with them." Things to do: do chores together or make them breakfast in bed. Go out of your way to help elevate their daily workload. Things you should not be doing: making the request of others a higher priority and lacking follow through on tasks big and also small. Think about that, you know, keep that in your mind. Since this infographic has been hot today, edited to more accurately reflect how little light reaches most of the depths. Well, I don't care. Some see thick fucking things. How to make a bed, the illustrator guide. No. Updated QR code guide. Let's actually have a look at it. I'm not that interested, but it's just more interesting than other things. But I have to also just do it like this. It's a pain in the ass. Now I'm gone. Let's see. Let's have a look. No, that's a bit too far. Too far in the shit. Too far still. Okay, let me zoom in. Let's make a QR code. The anatomy, which is the first point. What is in a code? Everything black is the finder pattern. It will help locate and orientate the code, which is these squares, which are surrounded by squares. You know, you're having one big square, and in the middle of this big square is a just more tiny square. The yellow is the timing pattern on the code is found. This helps see how big the dots are. Okay, I see. The blue thing is format information. This holds what EC level and mask is used. The quiet zone, the scanner expects all of this to be black. Everything else is where the data is stored. I see. Message bytes. Error corrections in bytes. Well, that's actually it with the interesting part. Let's move on. To really be honest. Visibility in traffic updated. When riding bike or motorcycle, consider what you wear at night. I'm always wearing black. Always. And I just really know deeply that I'm so invisible for everybody. But I don't know, like I'm always doing it. Like I naturally do have a lot of clothes that are black, especially when it comes to jackets, when it comes to just these things. They're just fucking black, you know, because I don't know, it's easy to wear it with other things and stuff like that. And yeah, identifying enlisted US military because everyone was complaining. Coast Guard, the Navy, Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, which apparently is the highest rank you can be. Then there's the Air Force with Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, which is the highest again. Then the Marines are having Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, and the Army is having Sergeant Major of the Army. Or Major. I don't think it's Major. I think it's Major. I'm sorry, Major. Probably. I don't actually know. A timeline of how our body repairs itself after quitting smoking. I don't care. Well, do I care? Let's see, 15 years. Risk of heart disease is that of a non-smoker. 15 years. Think about that. Let's see what you can do in 20 minutes. Heart rate returns to regular levels. 2 hours, cravings begin and blood pressure drops to normal levels. 12 hours, blood oxygen levels return to normal and carbon monoxide levels in the body lower. 24 hours, your risk of heart attack decreases. 48 hours, your sense of smell and taste begin to return. 3 days, excess nicotine is out of your body. Withdrawal symptoms are at their peak. 2 to 3 weeks, improve lung functions and physical abilities. 1 to 9 months. Cilia fibers begin to repair themselves, improving breathing. And 1 year, 50% lower chance of heart disease. 5 years, risk of diabetes returns to normal for women. Risk for stroke returns to normal for males and females. 10 years, I didn't actually know that you can get diabetes because of smoking. Fucked up thing. 10 years, chance of lung cancer are cut in half. And 15 years, I've already been talking about that. It is insane. It really is. This is something very interesting. It is so fucking interesting. A patient of mine talked about that in some or the other way. You know, when I'm in the paramedic car and we are just driving around people that have to go to the doctors or doctor and or to the hospital because of certain whatever things. I do know most often why they have to go to them because I'm seeing it on my little sheet of paper that I need to then put into my fucking computer that I'm always having with me. Anyway, how to stack and store firewood. Sun exposure and protection from moisture should be prioritized over wind direction when choosing a site. The first point, therefore, is choose a site with sun exposure and plan or orienting your stack so its length runs perpendicular to the direction of the prevailing wind. If wind is less consistent in your area, align your stack north to south to catch west-east wind. Sunlight from the south, shadow, and it is in the sun. So yeah, it seems to be a good spot. Lay pressure treated 2x4s down as a base to set your firewood on so that the ground moisture does not seep up into the wood. Yeah, makes sense. Unless you're just storing it on an stoned ground or something like that. You know, if you're just not doing it in what is it called? On the grass, yeah, as this person is doing it. The third point is build a tower at one end of your stack, laying 2 to 4 pieces of split wood down parallel to each other and then topping them with 2 to 4 more pieces, laid perpendicular, stack until your tower is 6 levels high. Then build another tower at the end or the other end of your base. These towers will serve as supporters to hold the firewood stack between them. So you're basically building it in the middle of nowhere. I think a lot of people are willing to do it just at the side of the house, somewhere where there is some sort of a way to stabilize the whole thing. But just saying. The fifth point is start stacking your split wood between the towers, maximizing air movement, which helps dry the wood rather than fitting wood to stack stack tightly. The thing to do there is to have the I don't fucking know what it's called. If you cut a tree in half or in quarters, let's put it like that, you're having one side where the outside of the tree is, and then you have 2 sides where the inside of the tree is. The outside of the tree should always be, and there's a specific name for that. Cinnamon is made out of that, but I just don't know it now. But this part should be on the, if you're just laying it down, it should be where the block of wood is laying on. You know, the 2 exposed inner parts of the tree should be having the most airflow, you know, because of some moisture reasons. This is what the patient taught me and or also told me to do. Anyway, 6th point is continue stacking up to the height of your end towers. If necessary, use poles or trimmed branches to prop up your stack from falling. Use a tarp to cover, which makes sense. And then also do something on that carp or tarp to just secure it. Clothing and Folds by Julia JM15. Clothing and Folds, also known as the Devil. I don't fucking know what this is about, but I'm a little bit interested to see what it is about. Twisted, stretched. Oh, it is in terms of drawings. Ah, I see. It's still pretty interesting, still pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. It is such an amazingly difficult thing to do, to draw clothings with folds in a proper way. Like, it is such an insanely difficult task. I did it in school. It takes a lot of time and a very good eye to see light and shadow play with each other. And yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna end the episode there. So I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself and you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. Which, yeah. One last thing that I'm gonna have you is, what could you, well, 3 other things that I'm gonna have you are why are you here, what I try to change, and what is bothering you the most. These 3 questions are hopefully gonna show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. Yeah. One last note that I'm gonna have you is, what could you essentially say to another person that is indeed gonna change their life? Because I totally believe that we all can say something, that we all can communicate something that's indeed gonna change somebody's life. And yeah, with that being said, hopefully gonna see you the next time. Bye bye.